Hello students, how are you? Let's continue with the fourth chapter, Literary Heritage of India. It is very interesting chapter students, so pay attention. Man took help of expression, symbols, drawing, sounds. For what? To communicate his thoughts, ideas, feelings, emotions to other. This led to the invention of dialects and scripts. If we want to say anything to other person, so we can say with the help of the dialect and the scripts or with the help of the languages. And these script contributed to the development of the languages. So through the languages we express our thoughts and all. So over a period of time language was being used for the expression of the thoughts. If we want to communicate with each other, we can take the help of the language. The constructive use of the language led to the creation of the literature. From the ancient time, Indian literature is known for the diversities and uniqueness. Indian scholars divided ancient literature into Vedic and classical literature. Besides this, some folk literature was also popular. Now students, we are going to learn about language and literature. If we quickly look at the history, we can see an emergence of variety of languages since the century. It simple means in the earlier time, in the ancient period of time, there were lots of languages, varieties of languages, and these languages influence one another, and it's resulted in the development of the literature. As a result, some new languages and literature have developed and flourished. The best example of this is Sanskrit language. We know that Sanskrit language is the mother of all other languages. Sanskrit language is less in use in present time, but in the religious ceremonies, worshipping rituals are dealt in these languages only. That you know students, all the religious ceremonies and the worshipping rituals, this one person is using the Sanskrit languages only. Generally language provides opportunities for the humans for the better expression understanding. Just imagine students, if language is not in existence, then what happened? We cannot express our thoughts. Okay, so language plays a most important role in exchanging our thoughts and everything. So India's most ancient script is that of Harappan civilization, which has not been deciphered. Means what? Understanding something which is not clear. Deciphered means which not clear. So we have not obtained much information about the languages at the time of the Harappan civilization. Maharshi Panini was a great Sanskrit grammarian, and the most important book students you have to remember for the MCQ, Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi, that was the most important book that written by the Maharshi Panini, which is the noteworthy book of Sanskrit grammar of the 4th century. Sanskrit is considered the language of Aryans, language of sages, and language of the scholars. It has been accepted by all at the international level that Sanskrit is the best language for the computer use, and it's also considered as mother of all the languages. Sanskrit was the chief language for the knowledge, science, religion, and philosophy. Now, ancient Indian literature, Vedas. So this will ask for 2 marks students. So you have to learn it in the textual question answer. Question number 1 in that, the first one, how many Vedas are there in India and which are they? So here 4 Vedas you have to write it down students. I think so you know this. That is Rig Ved, Samved, Yajur Ved and Athar Ved. Rig Ved considered to be the most important Ved and biggest Ved. Rig Ved is the most ancient work of Indian literature. It consists of 1028 verses. It is wonderful work divided into 10 divisions. Most of the verses are prayers of the god. They are used during the time of the yagnas. Some of the verses, those worshipping Usha matlab Subah, the gods of the dawn, are fascinating. This work describes political, social, religious matter of Aryans who are residing in the region of the Sapta Sindhu. So Rig Veda is considered as the biggest Veda. It consists of 1028 verses, student. Okay, and these Vedas were used during the time of the Yagna. It describes all the political, social, religious life matter of the Aryans who earlier lived in the Sapta Sindhu region. Now, Samved. Samved, you know, students, in the last chapter I had explained to you. Okay, that either is a music associated with the music. Three other Vedas were composed of the after Rig Veda. Out of them, Samved was composed to focus on the process of recitation of the verses. Okay, so these Ved you have to remember is associated with or composed or focus on the process of recitation of verses. Hence, is not Gangotri of the music. Once again, I told you that it is written that in the third chapter also, Samved associated with the music. So it is known as Gangotri of the music. That you have to remember, student. Yajur Veda. It is called the Veda of Yagna. It is composed to in a both the form, prose and verse. This describe the hymns, matlab mantra, recited during the time of the Yagna, the religious practice and the rituals. Atharved is described various type of rituals, rit rivaj and sanskar. Students, you know Upanishad. Upanishad, the Upanishadic literature gives a vivid matlab different. This literature gives a vivid description, description and analysis of beginning of the universe, how the universe evolved, कैसे आया universe, and mysteries of life and death, कैसे life होती है, कैसे death होती है, materialistic and spiritual world. So now, Brihadranya and Chandogya are the earliest Upanishad dialogue form that you have to remember for the MCQ student. So they are 108 in all mentioned in a Muktiko Upanishad. So students, you have to learn for the 2 marks. Brahmanical literature. Many Brahmanical epics were composed to understand the meaning of Vedic literature. Any critical appreciation based on Vedas and composed in the poetic form are included in a Brahmanical literature. Vedic literature and directive principles regarding behavior have been explained broadly. Now students, here just pay attention what I am going to explain you. It is important. Aryanikas, that's Aryans, that I have already explained to you in a first chapter. Aryans used to spend their last phase of life in Aryanikas. Okay, last phase of life. Okay, they spend in Aryanikas, making their ashram in the forest. Last phase of life they spend in the forest. They compose literature based on philosophy. Aryan, during their last period of time, they composed the literature based on philosophy, which was the result of their deep thinking, and it is known as Aryanikas. Okay, now Vedangas. Vedangas literature deals with the religious practice, rituals, grammar, astrology and astronomy. Vedangas that deal with the religious practice, rituals, grammar, astrology and astronomy. Now students, I am going to explain you most important thing frequently asked in the exam for 3 marks students. Explain Ramayana and Mahabharata epics. So here this full paragraph students you have to write it down for 2 marks or 3 marks. The Ramayana and Mahabharata, you know very well students, are the 2 great Indian epics. The present form of these epics can be traced back to the 2nd century. You know very well student, Ramayana has the story of Ram, Lord Ram, Ramchandra, the king of Ayodhya, that you know very well student. The Ramayana is the smaller epic than the Mahabharata. Mahabharata is the biggest epic as compared to the Ramayana. It describes many attractive stories of adventure, Mahabharata is the world's largest epic, has 1 lakh verses. Mahabharata is the largest epic and having many verses. This describes the war between Kaurav and Pandav that you know very well, students. Besides, it also consists of numerous stories also. And Bhagavad Gita, a part of Mahabharata, expound the deep philosophical principles that conveying the message between the Lord Krishna and Arjun, convey the message of achieving moksha, salvation through jnana, karma and bhakti. So students, this full paragraph you have to learn it, student, for 3 marks. Both the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata have been influencing millions of Indians, the literature for a long time. They have implanted motivational seeds of the sanskars in the Indians. They have given the sanskars to the Indians. Ramayana, that's Lord Ramchandra's stories, and Mahabharata, the quarrel between the Pandav and the Kaurav. And the Bhagavad Gita, the communication between the Lord Krishna and Arjuns. It just gives the information, message of achieving moksha, jnana, karma and bhakti. Clear? During this period of Sanskrit literature are produced which contain a good combination of religious and worldly aspects of the life. The Purans plays most important role in explaining the initial Vedic religion in earlier time. Now I am talking about the Sanskrit literature. The Sanskrit literature also going to be asked for the 2 marks. So this above paragraph for the Ramayana and Mahabharata greatest epics. Now I am going to explain you Sanskrit literature. Students, you have to write down this full paragraph for Sanskrit literature. Clear? That was produced contain a good combination of religious and worldly aspects of the life. Students, you know very well, wherever religious ceremonies, yagnas and katha, everything is there. There is always everything that will do in a Sanskrit language only. The Purans plays an important role in explaining initial Vedic religion of earlier time. During this time, many scripture and Smruti Granth were composed. These scriptures deal with the science and philosophies. Students, you know very well, Kautilya written the Arthashastra. Economic Arthashastra means economic is a book of management as well as book of various topic of art, mathematics and other science. So many scriptures, Smruti Granth were experts. One of the great Smruti Granth, that is Kautilya's Arthashastra. It is considered as economics. The Smruti Granth as explains the religious teachings, law and custom. So from these most 2 important question I have explained to you Mahabharata, Ramayana epics and explain the Sanskrit literature that will ask for 3 marks and Aranyakas that will ask for and Vedanga that will ask for 1 mark, students. Now students, most important Buddhist literature that will ask for 2 marks. So students, you have to learn and you have to write it down from this. The earliest Buddhist literature was written in a Pali language, that you have to remember for your MCQ section A. Written in a Pali languages, as it is divided into 3 sections that you have to remember. It is known as Tripitaka. Divided into 3 sections, Tripitaka. It consists of Sukta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka and Abhidham Pitaka. Clear? Students, you have to remember this. It is known as Tripitaka. It consists of Sukta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka and Abhidham Pitaka. Besides, many other work also composed in the Buddhist literature. Clear? So students, you have to write it down this. Okay? 3 divided into 3 sections, Tripitaka, Sukta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, Abhidham Pitaka, and written in the Pali languages. That you have to remember. Okay? Buddhist literature, that will ask for 2 marks, students. Now Gupta period was known as the golden period of the growth of development of the Sanskrit poem and dramas. The great writer like Kalidas, Bhavbhuti, Bhairavi, okay, Bhartrihari, Banabhat, Mangha and many other belong to this period. Students, I have already taught you in the chapter number 2 in that the dramatic art. Kalidas, Bhas, Bhavbhutis, their work, their literary work also that we have discussed. Okay, so the great writer like Kalidas, Bhavbhuti, Bhairavi, okay, Bhartrihari, Banabhat, Manga, many other belong to this period. So students, from this you have to learn the names. That Kalidas written which work? Okay, his work for the MCQ. Okay, so Kalidan is known as all over the world. His work that you have to remember: Kumar Sambhav, Raghu Vansham, Meghdut, Abhigam Shakuntalam, and Rutu Samhar. Students, you have to remember like this only. This will ask in the MCQ students. Kalidas wrote Kumar Sambhav, Raghuvansham, Meghdut, Abhigam Shakuntalam, and Rutu Samhar. So the better to make a table. So it will be very easy for you for learning. Okay. Once again, Kalidas wrote Kumar Sambhav, Raghuvansham, Meghdut, Abhigam Shakuntalam, and Rutu Samhar. Clear? Renowned for their best poetic and dramatic style. Now Kadambari wrote, Bana wrote Kadambari and Harshcharit, that biography of King Harsh. Okay? So Bana wrote Kadambari and Harshcharit. Other work of the period that Bhavbhuti is Uttam Charitra. Bhavbhuti wrote Uttam Charitra. Bhairavi wrote, okay, Kirtarjunian. Bhairavi wrote Kirtarjunian. Vishakhadattas Mundra Raksha. Shudras Mrichkatikam. And Dandis Dush Kumar Charitras. The subject of this work were political events, romance, elegies, comedies, and the philosophy. So students, you have to remember only the author's name and this for the MCQ students. And Buddhist literature is most important. Now verses were composed in the earlier form of Gujarati literature. So students, Gujarati literature is most important for 3 or 2 marks. So last paragraph you have to learn it. Verses were composed in the earlier form of Gujarati language. In the course of time, Gujarati language developed. Many literary works were composed in it. The heritage of Gujarati literature was made prosperous by literary composition of, you know very well students, you have learned their prose and poem also. Narsi Mehta, Mirabai, Dayaram Akho, Premchand, Pritam, others who composed beautiful verses, songs, garba, narrative poems and chapas. So students, already you are learning Gujarati. So these all names are not new for you. After that, the scholars like Narmad, Navalram, Kishorilal Mashruwala, Pannalal Patel, Umashankar Joshi, Mahipatram Ruparam Nilkant, Govindranath Tripathi, and others enriched the Gujarati literature through their works. So students, from these 2 paragraphs, Buddhist literature, then the Kalidas, Banas, Bhavbhutis, their works that you have to remember, and Gujarati literature you have to remember, students. Now the 4 Dravidian languages, students, you know that Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam develop their own scripts and literature. So students, Tamil literature will ask for 2 marks, so that you have to write it down. Tamil is the oldest of this, with its literature belonging to early century of Christian era. So Tamil is the oldest language that you have to remember for the MCQ student. According to the tradition, you have to write down Tamil literature. This will ask for 2 marks. According to tradition, 3 literary gatherings, sangams, were held at which many sages, poets recited their composition. So they contain many themes. So students, you have to write it down the themes only in the Tamil literature. So that may themes like politics, war and love. The famous work of this body literature includes Ithotokoi, composition of 8 poems. Okay, Tolkappiyam, that is grammar. Tolkappiyam, that is grammar, and Pathupathu, that's 10 songs. Students, you have to remember this thing for Tamil literature. Thiruvallur, that wrote the famous Kurai, which is in verse deals with the many aspects of the life and the religion. Okay, Tiruvalur that written the Kurai, that you have to remember. Shilpadikaram and Manimakla are the most some of the famous work of the earlier Tamil literature. So Tamil literature will ask for 2 or 3 marks. The last paragraph is for the Tamil literature. You have to write it down, students. Tamil is the oldest language. Okay, now medieval literature. Here are some of the literature, students, that will ask in the MCQ, that I will tell you in between, that you have to remember. During the beginning of the medieval age, North India, the language of literature was Sanskrit. In the medieval period, okay, in the North India, the language, that Sanskrit. So the great work were composed during this period were in the Sanskrit. In the medieval period, most of the work that composed in the Sanskrit languages. In this age, 2 great works were written in a Kashmir. So students, now you underline Somdev's Katha Sarit Sagar. Somdev's Katha Sarit Sagar, that will ask in the section A, and Kalhana's Raj Tarangini. Kalhana's Raj Tarangini. There are first historical books of the India. So 2 names you have to remember: Somdev's Katha Sarit Sagar, Kalhana's Raj Tarangini. Students, I will give you just suggestion, just to make out the table. Another famous work of this time is Geet Govind by Jaydev. Geet Govind work written by Jaydev, which is one of the finest poem in the Sanskrit literature. As we have said before, this was the period of when Abhavram languages had started developing in the modern Indian languages. So one of the earliest work in the earlier form of the Hindi was, most important, remember this thing, Prithviraj Raso. Prithviraj Raso, written by Chand Bardai. Written by Chand Bardai. The work that marked the beginning of the Hindi literature deals with the heroic deeds, most important deeds of the Prithviraj Chauhan. So students, you have to remember only Prithviraj Raso written by Chand Bardai. That you have to remember, students. Okay. In this time, the Sanskrit literature make a great stride in the southern India. Many times the Jainism influenced Kannada literature also. In the southern India also Sanskrit literature flourished. The poet Pump composed Adi Puran and Vikramajun Vijayant. Students, poet Pampa written the Adi Puran Vikrama Vijayant. MCQ. Poet Pona wrote Shanti Puran. Poet Pona wrote Shanti Puran, describing the life of 16th Jain Tirthankar, because Jainism influenced Kannada literature also. Poet Rana composed the 2 books, Ajitnath Puran and Gadayuddh. So the 3 poets, namely Pampa, Pona and Rana, the trio of early Kannada literature. If the Kannada literature will ask for 2 marks, you have to write it down this. Clear? Poet Kamban composed Ramayan in Tamil literature. You have to remember for MCQ. Poet Kamban written Tamil Ramayan in a Tamil literature. Apart from these, the famous literary works were written in the Tamil language. So this paragraph is for the Kannada literature. Students, you have to remember this paragraph mostly for the MCQ. Students, make a table, write it down the author name and the work. The development of the Indian languages, composition of great promotion in the Delhi Sultanate. So medieval period literature, that's you know very well, Delhi Sultanate. 2 forms of the Delhi language. Okay, Khadi Boli and Brij Bhasha began to used for the writing literature. Many devotional songs were composed in these languages. Which language, students? Khadi Boli and Brij Bhasha. Many heroic poems, stories were composed in Rajasthani language, which is similar to Hindi and Gujarati also. The heroic work like Alha, Udal, Vishal Dev Raso were popular at that time. So now students, you have to remember the well-known book underlined, Chandrayaan, written by Molla Daud, is the oldest book in the Awadhi language that you have to remember, students, for MCQ. Chandrayaan, written by Molla Daud, in the oldest book in the Awadhi language. However, the critical appreciation of these ancient books was still written in the Sanskrit language. Critics were there that this book written in the Sanskrit language, but this here written, it is written in the Awadhi language. Who wrote? Molla Daud, Chandrayaan. Now students, Persian language. Persian was the language of court of Delhi Sultanate, that you have to remember, students. Okay. Consequently, many Persian words are seen in the Indian languages also. So during the language of court of Delhi Sultanate, Persian language, many historians emerge out during this period. We get proper description of Indian history through Turkish writer in the Persian language, Ziauddin Barani. He wrote, okay, Tarikh-e-Firoz Shahi, that you have to remember, student, underline. Ziauddin Barani, Turkish writer, written Tarikh-e-Firoz Shahi, which gives detailed account of the region of Khilji and Tughlaq kings. He also wrote the book on the political theory called Fatwa-e-Jahangiri. So students, you have to remember, Ziauddin Barani wrote two books, that Tarikh-e-Firoz Shahi and Fatwa-e-Jahangiri. So students, in this chapter, medieval period, and this one, ancient literature, you have to remember the author and his work. So make a table and do it, students. This will be very easy for you. The most outstanding literary figure of this period, Amir Khusro. I have already taught you in the third chapter, students. He was a poet, historian, mystic saint, and composer of the music, Amir Khusro. He also a disciple of Nizamuddin Aulia. He was a disciple, matlab Shishya. He was a disciple of Nizamuddin Aulia. He wrote the book. Now students, you have to remember that this Amir Khusro wrote Ashik, Na, Shipir, okay, Kiratul Sadayan, okay, Khaizen ul Fatah, and several other works of the poetry. Amir Khusro took a great pride of his being an Indian and praised India as a earthly paradise. Students, you have to write down Amir Khusro wrote earthly paradise. He praised India's flora fauna, its beauty, its building, its knowledge, its learning. Amir Khusro praised India's. He strongly believed that in many respects the essence of Hinduism resembles Islam. He had considered Hindavli in Hindi spoken around the region of the Delhi. Certain regions that speak Hindi. His mother tongue, and composed many verses in it. He composed verses in many languages. He wrote a number of bilingual. Bilingual means two languages. Quatrains, verses in Hindi and Persian languages. He wrote many things in both two languages, Hindi languages also and Persian languages also. The healthy tradition started by him, continue for century after him. So you have to remember the work of the Amir Khusro. The regional kings gave and great importance to the regional languages and the literature. The regional kings of that particular area give importance to regional language and literature. Bhakti saint, sadhu, preach in the languages of the people. Many of them, Kabir, you know, students, were a great poet. Bhojpuri, Awadhi were the major dialect during those time. The work of Kabir was chiefly composed in Sadhu Khadi, that you have to remember, students. Among them, Kabir's Doha have become a part of folklore. That you have to Kabir's Doha, that world famous. Malik Muhammad Jaisi wrote Padmavat in Awadhi language. So students, from this you have to remember which author and poet wrote what. So Malik Ahmad Jaisi wrote Padmavat in Awadhi. There are many other poets that wrote in Awadhi language in this period. Now students, well known Ramcharitmanas by Tulsidas. You know very well, student, Tulsidas. That was written in a Awadhi language. There were many other writers of the Awadhi language. Beside this, the Hindi language. Literature in other language also developed. Not only Persian, Awadhi, but Hindi language literature also developed. In Bengali, the Ramayana by Kritavasa and hundred of lyrics by the famous poet Chandidas were written under the patronage help of the rulers. Okay, Ramayana in Bengali by Kritivasa, that you have to remember, student. Ramayana in Bengali. Sait Chaitanya, the tradition of writing devotional song began. Chaitanya started devotional song. You know Narsi Mehta wrote many devotional songs in a Gujarati. Saint Eknath in Marathi. There are important developments in the Kashmir. In Zainul Abidin, whose patronized many Sanskrit works like Mahabharat, Raj Tarangini were translated into the Persian. Okay, in the Kashmir also. Zainul Abidin, under whose patronage the Sanskrit were converted into the Persian language. Now, in the reign of the king of the Vijayanagar Krishna Dev Rai, you know, you have seen Tenali Rama also. Sanskrit literature continued to develop. However, this was an important period of the growth of the Telugu literature in the South India. Raja Krishna Dev Rai, a great king of Vijayanagar, was also Telugu and Sanskrit writer. You have seen in the TV, that is Tenali Raman. He wrote Amukta Malyar, that you have to remember. Okay, Raja Krishna Dev Rai wrote Amukta Malyar.